Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. It feels so weird to be saying this after almost a year, more than a year now, I think. So today, let's just get into it right away because I'm feeling very awkward after such a long time. So today we're going to be discussing about my internship experience at RML Hospital. I was there for 2 months and there's a lot that I have to share with you guys. So let's just dive into the video. Okay, so first things first, I'll tell you what was the procedure like to get an internship at RML. So I have my little notepad here with me. So the first thing that you do is you visit the diary section. Now you'll find the diary section near gate number 2 of RML. When you reach gate number 2, what you can do is you can ask any of the guards over there, where is the diary section? And once you go there, you have to submit a list of documents. What are those documents? I'll put them in the description box and I'll also put them here. So you have to submit these documents at the diary section, and after that I think they're going to approve your documents. They're going to ask you to go to a photocopy shop and get a few more extra printouts and photocopies. This is just something that RML makes you do. Any government organization I think makes you do. They're gonna make you run a little, and then when you finish submitting your documents, they'll ask you to come back after around 3-4 weeks and ask whether you are selected for the internship or you're not. So then the second place that you have to go to after 3 weeks is called the HA1 block. Now you come from gate number 1 and you ask the guard where is HA1 block, and they're going to tell you. So HA1 is in this building of RML, which is very distinct. So you go in that building, but finding HA1 is a task. When you look at it from outside, it looks like a very small, dingy place, but that is where you have to go to. You're going to climb up the stairs, and then there's this office sort of setup, and you're going to ask them that are you selected for the internship or not. And if you are, they're going to give you a letter which states that okay, you've been selected for the internship and you can start the internship from so and so date. I think it says from immediate effect, so you can start your internship from the day after or a few days after that. I started my internship 2-3 days after I got that letter. Now they'll tell you this website wherein you have to submit your fee. Now the fee for interning at RML is 2000 per month. The website asks you a couple of questions like in which department are you interning, for how long are you interning, stuff like that. So make sure that you fill all of this very carefully because RML being a government place is very particular about the information that you're giving in and the paperwork that they're doing. So they're very particular about things like the dates, etc. So make sure that you're filling it in very carefully. Now once you're done submitting your fee, you're supposed to go to the psychiatry department, which is I think gate number 9, or you can just google this place. It's called the Center of Excellence or Center for Excellence in Mental Health. When you reach there, the first gate towards your right is the psychiatry department, the official psychiatry department, the OPD setup, and there you'll find gate number 1, which is the admin department. The admin department is going to ask you to submit a couple of documents. Again, those documents I'll mention in the description box and here as well. So you're going to submit all of these documents, and then they'll ask you to wait because they'll have to get signature from the head of the Department of Psychiatry. And only after then you can start your internship. So you'll have to wait for a couple of hours. Now this really depends. Okay, I can't stop the dog, so I'm just gonna pretend like the dog isn't barking. So my friends came on a Saturday and they literally had to stay the entire day to get the signature, and I think still they couldn't get the signature. They had to come again another day. So I went on a Monday and I got the signature after 2 hours of waiting, 2.5 hours of waiting. So just be mentally prepared that you'll have to wait for a couple of hours to get the signature. They're going to send you to this one person who's going to allot you to a supervisor. After that is done, you'll have to go and report to your supervisor, and then it really depends who your supervisor is and what work they're making you do. At RML, I think a lot depends on who your supervisor is, and because the kind of work that you're getting is the kind of work that your supervisor wants you to get. So each and every supervisor has a very different ethic of working. So there are certain things that one supervisor might be okay with, but the same things another supervisor might not be okay with. So it really depends who you're placed under, and that will kind of determine what kind of work you're going to do. So now let's talk about a regular day at RML. What kind of things are you going to do and what all you'll observe? So you'll have to report to the hospital every day, Monday to Saturday, between 9 to 9:30 a.m. That's like the time slot that they give you in which you can report to the hospital. After that, around 9:30, you'll start getting patients. So you'll get your first workup. It's called a workup. So it is a 10 to 12 page document around, wherein you'll have to mention stuff like chief complaints, HOPI, a little bit of their MSc, their pre-morbid personality, what all behavioral observations you are making, etc. And after that, the patient goes to the psychiatry department. They show themselves to a psychiatrist, and the psychiatrist prescribes them medication. And if needed, then they visit the clinical psychology department to get a date for the therapy or any sort of assessment that is needed, say IQ assessment, autism assessment, or personality assessment, anything like that. Other than workups, you might also be required to take case histories for the assessments that are going on in your room. So your room is basically the room of your supervisor where you're allotted, and you'll also have your MPhil seniors over there who are doing their MPhil in clinical psychology from the department. So they might allot you case histories for the assessments of the day. So say if there is a patient who's coming for an IQ assessment, you might be required to take their case history. Apart from that, at the end of every day we have allotments. Not every day, usually at the end of Mondays we have allotments, but it can be other days also. So allotments is basically you have to give appointments to the clients that are coming from the psychiatry department to get an appointment in the clinical psychology department. So your day starts at 9 a.m. and it goes on till 4 p.m., other than on Saturdays when your day is going to end at 1 p.m. Okay, now let's talk about purely my experience and what are the pros and cons that I found at the internship. So let's talk about the pros first. So the first thing that I really liked about the place is that there is huge, immense exposure that you can learn from. So you get cases like depression, anxiety on a general basis, but other than that, you also get to see more severe cases like bipolar, schizophrenia, things like conversion disorder, etc. So the exposure is huge and wide. The second pro that I found was the MPhil trainees. The MPhil trainees are very nice, they're very sweet, they're very helpful and kind. They're going to help you with each and everything on how to take case histories, how to take workups, and even things like if you're interested in knowing then how to crack MPhil entrances and their experiences, etc. Another pro is that you get to see a lot of things that you learn about in your books in real life setup, and I feel that is so important as a psychology student, especially as a clinical psychology student. You get to see all of those disorders in real life, so you're able to learn that information much better and understand how symptoms really look like in real life. And apart from that, you also get exposure to a lot of tests like IQ assessments, ADHD, etc. So you get to observe and learn a lot from that. Now coming to the cons, I have quite a little bit of a list. The first thing is that the admin is not that great. Much like any other government institute, the admin really makes you run from place to place. The second con in the same line is that a lot of people there are disrespectful. They are rude to you at times, and I feel like interns over there are disposable. They keep getting new interns every month, so they really treat interns like they are disposable. They really treat interns in a very rude and disrespectful manner. Not everyone, but a large chunk of people. And the work is so much high pressure, high stake, high stress. I feel like at times the interns are the scapegoat for all of that frustration and stress. Again, keeping the same thing in mind, I think the third con is that there is very high work pressure. If you feel like the day of an intern at RML is very chill and you can come back home and do something else, it's not really the case. Me and my friends, when we came back home from RML, our entire energy was drained and we couldn't really do a lot of things apart from focus on the internship. Plus it's 6 days a week, so you don't really have a lot of time left for yourself. If you're someone who really likes investing in stuff like work life balance, and you're someone who is really in love with a 5-day week wala thing, as I was, you might have a hard time adjusting here. Another con is that there is no active supervision. So, when you come to RML, you will be told to observe the other interns and learn from them. You're not really given any sort of guidance or supervision ki this is how you're supposed to fill the workup form, this is how you're supposed to do case histories. Now, if you're someone who already has this information, well and good. But if you're someone who's extremely new, then it can be really tough for you. If you go to the MPhil trainees, they're definitely gonna guide you, but if you don't really go and ask someone, then there's no first hand information that's going to come to you. There's no training of that sort that's going to come to you. And I think the last con has to be the infrastructure. The infrastructure is not that nice. Basically, they don't have enough sitting space also for the interns. There have been times when us interns have to sit outside the wards, in line while we are taking our workups, because the interns room was already full of patients and the other interns. All in all, I'd just say that RML is a proper government institute. It's got really good exposure, but it's also going to, you know, take a lot of blood, sweat, and tears from you. So if you're someone who really wants to intern at RML, I think these are few points that you can look at and decide if you really want to go there or not. If you're someone who's aspiring to be a clinical psychologist in future, I think it's going to be great learning, great exposure at this place. If you're someone who's not really sure about clinical, then you might want to think a little before you go ahead with this internship. Either, you can go ahead with the internship and see if you want to go in clinical or not, but you should be mentally prepared that you're going to see cases that are not that severe and also very, very severe. Yeah, and I think this is it for today's video from my end. If there's anything that you'd like to ask, you can leave that in the comment section below, or you can connect with me on my Instagram and I'll let you know about things over there. And I think I'll see you next time. I'm not sure when that would be, but I'll definitely see you around the internet soon.